The new Peplink B One router. This is Peplink's follow-on router replacement for the very popular Surf SOHO at a very attractive price point of $299. Here's our first look. Hi, I'm Andy with the Mobile Internet Resource Center. The Peplink B One is out. This is Peplink's replacement device for the popular Surf SOHO, which was retired last year. Now, this device is designed principally for small and home offices. You can see it's not a ruggedized exterior design like the BR or Transit series. And as such, if you're going to use it in a van, boat, or RV, you should use it in a climate-controlled area. But even though it's designed for home or small offices, you can use it in a mobile environment, in a van, boat, or RV without issues. In fact, the features of this router make it very good for using that. Now, unlike a lot of the routers that Peplink has come out with recently, this router does not have an internal cellular modem. So there's no internal cellular WAN in here. So all the WAN connections, besides the internal Wi-Fi-as-WAN, you'll have to connect separately. Now, this may sound like a downside, but as we'll discuss later, it can actually be considered an upside as well. Now, this helps keep the price down. So this retails for $299. Which is an excellent value considering the features which we'll talk about in the moment, as well as it's part of Peplink's ecosystem, which means that you get all the benefits of Peplink's firmware, of in-control, and everything that Peplink brings to the table. So what are some of the features of the Peplink B One? Let's get started with what's on the inside, the internals. Any router is going to have the internal components, the processor, the buses, all the things that make the router work on the inside. And all these have limits, and that gives any router a throughput limit or a throughput speed. Now, the good news with the Peplink B One, it is a very fast router. It has a very fast throughput. In fact, it's got the same throughput as the Pro series of routers that Peplink has released. So for a raw throughput, it's got 1 gigabit per second of routing speed. And when using SpeedFusion unencrypted, that's at 400 megabits per second. And when encrypted, it is at 200 megabits per second. Now, this gives a lot of flexibility to use multiple LAN connections or multiple WAN connections without getting slowed down. And this is going to make the router very future-proof, so that it will be relevant for many years and be able to handle multiple WAN and LAN connections without slowing down, and be able to especially handle those SpeedFusion connections while maintaining good performance. It's great to see that Peplink has put that pro level of internals into this router at an entry-level price point. So next, let's talk about what sort of WAN options this router comes with. We already mentioned that it does not have an internal cellular modem. So that is a little bit limiting right there, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have a significant WAN capability. Now, to start off with, you have 2 Ethernet Gigabit WAN ports on the back. So 2 dedicated WAN ports right away. So this allows you to hook up, say, Starlink on one of those ports, and you can hook up, for instance, a mobile hotspot device that has an Ethernet out on the second port. And then you still have all of your LAN ports available. Additionally, with Peplink devices, and again with the B One as well, if you have Prime Care active, and all routers that are purchased get a year of Prime Care for free, you do get what's called a vWAN port, which means that one of these LAN ports can act as a third WAN port. Additionally, if you want to, you can pay a license fee and get that feature permanently enabled. So you could theoretically have 3 WAN ports active on this device. That gives you a lot of Ethernet WAN capability. Now the second option is USB. USB tethering is great to have on a router, and not many routers have that ability. This does have a USB-C port here on the front, so that allows you to hook up a mobile hotspot device or a USB modem or an Android phone. Unfortunately, iPhones and iOS devices are not supported by Peplink for tethering, but mobile hotspot devices and Android phones are. So that is another great option to provide a WAN connection. And finally is Wi-Fi-as-WAN. As with most all Peplink devices that have Wi-Fi-as-WAN can be used as another WAN input. So this gives you a host of WAN options that you can bring together, use with SpeedFusion, bond them for reliability, for failover, or for load balancing as you need. And the flexibility of not having an internal modem means that you can switch out your WAN sources as needed and upgrade them as needed. The advantage of not having an internal WAN modem inside this device is that it's not going to go obsolete as quickly. Cellular modem technology goes obsolete much more quickly than router technology does. And one of the disadvantages of having a router with a cellular embedded modem is that often the modem in the router goes obsolete, and it can make the router obsolete even though the router itself, the router components, are still good. So that's kind of one advantage of getting a router that doesn't have a cellular modem. Now for your LAN connectivity, it's about what you would expect for any router. You've got 4 LAN ports, gigabit LAN ports here on the back for Ethernet. That provides you a lot of great wired connectivity. You do have Wi-Fi 6. Wi-Fi 6 is the standard Wi-Fi connectivity in 2024. Would have been nice if it had been Wi-Fi 6E or the brand new Wi-Fi 7, but Wi-Fi 6 is plenty good. It's a very capable standard, will be relevant into the future. The router does have 2 Wi-Fi ports on the back. Does come with 2 standard Wi-Fi paddle antennas. You can also, of course, hook these up to an external antenna if you want to use Wi-Fi-as-WAN. The router does have an access point controller. So, for example, if you wanted to use the internal Wi-Fi on the router here for Wi-Fi-as-WAN with a rooftop antenna, for example, you could use an internal access point for your LAN. So again, that is another flexible option that you can use to expand your Wi-Fi and make your Wi-Fi very flexible for your needs. So the Peplink B One, an interesting router, but on paper, it looks very similar to a lot of other home and small office routers that you may see on Amazon or Best Buy or even Walmart. I mean, it's got Ethernet ports, it's got Wi-Fi, it doesn't have an internal cellular modem. There's hundreds of routers out there that, at least on paper, have those sort of same features. So what makes this one different? Well, the secret sauce is really that it's in the Peplink ecosystem. All those features that Peplink brings to the table, especially the multi-WAN capabilities. As we discussed earlier, this router has a lot of ability to bring multiple connections in and combine them. And the reason why it's able to combine them is because of the Peplink SpeedFusion technology, as well as the ability to do load balancing, instant failover, as well as some of the other Peplink features that are available that might apply to you. And that brings a lot of interesting use cases that are a great idea that can be used with this router. One is that it's a great pairing with Starlink. One of the issues with Starlink is that it can frequently have dropouts, especially in cases where there may be obstructions in the sky. Well, this is a relatively inexpensive way to add some redundancy with Starlink, because you can add Starlink to this, add a mobile hotspot or another WAN connection with speed fusion bonding. It helps ameliorate those issues with Starlink and dropouts. Another way you can use this is with synergy mode. Peplink has a feature called synergy mode where you can combine two Peplink routers, and basically it upgrades them so they act as a single router. So if you have an older Peplink router, this is an inexpensive way to perhaps upgrade that router to expand its features. Another option is Peplink's relay mode for those who are part-timers or have a home base. One of these B1 routers at your home base can act as a relay. So if you have a Peplink router in your van, boat, or RV, you can connect to this in your home and surf the internet as if you were from home, or connect securely to your home network via Peplink's relay mode. So there are a lot of options to use this to get a very flexible setup, or to add to your existing system if you need it. Additionally, this is a great entry-level product for people, for example, who are currently using mobile hotspots or other devices that are swapping out and aren't using a mobile router currently. It's a great upgrade to provide redundancy and be able to combine those existing internet sources that you may also have without having to spring for an expensive cellular embedded router. So that's it for the B1 first look. Now next we'll be putting this router into testing, because while this new router looks fantastic on paper and from what we've seen so far, we will be putting it through its paces, making sure we verify that everything that's promised actually works. We'll be looking for any issues, any problems that we can find, and all that information and our testing notes as we go along with our testing program will be available for our members. And additionally, once our review is complete, including all of our pluses and minuses and the things we really like and don't like about the router, that review will be available exclusively to our members once our review is complete. So if you're interested in membership, please do consider looking at our membership program and consider joining. You not only would get information on this review, but all the other reviews we've done, as well as all the other benefits of membership, which can be found in the link below. Also, what do you think of the B1? Is this something that you're interested in? What do you think of its pluses and minuses, or do you think that the not having a cellular modem is a big downside? We'd love to hear what your comments are, maybe what you'd like to see us look at in our testing. Leave us a comment below and tell us what you think, and we'll check it out. So that's it for today. Stay connected, and we'll see you next time.
These videos are brought to you by our premium members, our mobile internet aficionados. They make it possible for us to track this news and create these videos. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, or better yet, consider becoming a member yourself.